This is The Clash, where the real world clashes with a true Christian worldview. Join former professional wrestler Chris Whaley, known as the Masked Saint, who is an author, pastor, and teacher that brings his wrestling skills into the squared circle and tackles real-life issues. Along with Jeff Dixon, best-selling author, internationally known teacher, leader, and pastor who is not afraid to tackle the tough issues of the world we live in. Together they form a tag team of wisdom in The Clash.
4, 3. Hi, welcome to The Clash, where we take a Christian worldview, allow it to clash into the culture around us, and hopefully we educate, we entertain, we encourage you, and when we're all said and done, maybe you walk away just a little bit better, or at least you're going to have a good time thinking about some things that have to do with life and God and all that. Now, I'm Jeff Dixon. I'm joined by Chris Whaley. Chris, in the ring behind us, the turkey's there. You know what that means, right?
Means it's Thanksgiving time.
Thank goodness it's not this episode. The episode's not a turkey. It means it's Thanksgiving time. That's right.
I love Thanksgiving.
And so here we are once again, another Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
Well, quick question.
Yeah.
Anything ever go wrong at Thanksgiving as you celebrate it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That answer came way too quick.
You know, my job is I have a smoker and smoked a turkey and smoked a ham. And there's been some episodes where people ate turkey on that day where it was kind of like on Christmas vacation when they were doing that. Yeah. So I've had some episodes there.
Supposed to have dinner at 4 and the turkey's still frozen at 3. That can happen.
Hey, I think we're entitling this episode Thanks Living.
Yeah, we are.
I want you to start it off. Give us a good definition of thanks living.
I think the definition we're going to run with this episode with is learning to live each and every day thankful and grateful for the life that you've been given, which really isn't just a holiday. It's a way of life.
Right.
And so let's unpack this, kind of theme it around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But let's kind of talk about that, and let's come back and get started right after we take this break.
Okay.
Chris, I was just sitting around wishing I had something good to read during the Christmas season. You got any suggestions for me?
I have. It's called Harold's Heavenly Christmas.
Wow.
And it's a book that I wrote, and yeah, I'm still hoping that it's going to be on Movie of the Week, and script's already been written for it. So just a feel-good, great book. If you like to watch those Christmas movies, you will love Harold's Heavenly Christmas.
Okay.
It's about a firefighter who dies and becomes. If you like Just a Wonderful Life, you know, Harold is the new Clarence.
Wow. All right. Well, thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah.
And why don't you take that one too? Harold's Heavenly Christmas, and enhance your Christmas holiday reading.
What are you doing Christmas Eve?
I'm glad you asked. And, you know, our folks here could join us. If you are in the Central Florida area, join us here at the Church at 434 in Winter Springs at 7 o'clock, Christmas Eve night for a candlelight service. It's outside under the stars. And if you can't be with us, go to touchandchange.net or the Church at 434 app, or you can find us on Facebook. And we're streaming live, and we would love to have you join us from 7 to 8 o'clock. We'll see you on Christmas Eve.
Hey, welcome back to The Clash. And Thanksgiving season, we're entitling this one Thanks Living, where you're just being thankful on a daily basis. I found this out, Jeff. I did a little research here, and it showed that thankfulness reduces stress.
Yeah.
It boosts your immunity. It improves your sleep. All of this thankful, just being thankful.
Okay.
And it strengthens a relationship. You'd probably be surprised where that information actually came from Harvard and Berkeley.
Really?
Yeah.
It almost sounds like it comes from the Bible.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? Well,
I like that better.
But but you think about it, that kind of pushes the idea forward, though. We just defined, and as we kind of did our intro on what thanks living is.
Right.
And so ultimately, if you can learn to live with thanks, the quality of your life will greatly improve.
Yeah.
Which is why Thanksgiving is maybe a good anchor point to remind us of that as a holiday, but it really does need to become a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've had Eeyores in your church, haven't you?
Oh my goodness, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
people that's just they wouldn't be thankful if they got shot with a brand new bullet. I mean,
Eeyore has a hard time keeping his tail on, so you can see their tails, as they have plodded through, the different places that they've infested along the way. But and they're miserable in some ways.
Yeah,
they just can't get out of their own way.
Yeah, and you meet them all the time.
Why? No, I mean, I know you know me, and we're pretty thankful. We try to be grateful. We try to emphasize that. But why do you think people have a hard time being thankful? What is that about? Where does that come from?
I've asked that question myself. I mean, I talked to my wife. I said, "Do you think they just don't have anything to be thankful for?" And of course, my wife says, "Everybody's got something to be thankful for." And I don't know. I think, Jeff, that they're looking for the bad things. Yeah. They're looking for things to go wrong. They're looking for something to fall through instead of trying to be grateful about each day and the things that we have and the way God has blessed us. Yeah. Just my thought.
Well, I mean, in a recent sermon series, I think I uttered the phrase, you can't change what you see, you can change how you see it.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of the thinking behind that was, we got to learn to look at life a little bit differently. I'm gonna go way out on a limb here. It's not really out on a limb for this TV show, but I contend that if you don't know Jesus,
right,
then there is a ceiling to how thankful you can ever be, because you can only be thankful and give thanks for things, whatever, at the level that you see them as blessings.
Right.
And I think until you have that relationship with Christ, it really does put a cap on how thankful you are. Now, if you have a relationship with Christ, it blows the top off of it.
Yep.
And so I think in some ways one of our greatest sins as followers is not being thankful and grateful for the good gift of life itself.
Right.
And living life with anything except this attitude of thanks.
Right. What I've often said, not everybody in the church is in Christ. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to make any judgments on people, but I think those people need to find Jesus, and it would help them a whole lot, which is what you were saying.
Well, I mean, Scripture's pretty clear. I mean, at least I think that if you come to know Christ and you find your salvation in Him, you believe, trust, and follow Him, and you make that decision, then I think instantly things begin to change. Not overnight, but you're making a choice to change too, because now you're giving your life to the Creator of the universe, and some things have to happen when that begins to take place. And I think sometimes we don't see a lot of growth in people.
All right.
And if you don't grow, then that thankfulness doesn't really begin to emerge because you're just not seeing it. And if nothing else, you ought to be thankful for the fact that He saved you.
Yeah, and that goes along with one I had here is having gratitude in difficult times. It's easy to thank God when things are, going great, but thanking God during trials.
Yeah,
I think it builds resilience. There's a great example, I think, of being thankful in difficult times from Paul's imprisonment in Philippians chapter 4. But the truth is, where joy thrives not from circumstances, but from chosen thankfulness.
Yeah. I call that the gratitude gap. Some things, it's kind of like a no-brainer, right? We're thankful for. Mm-hmm. But how are you thankful in those circumstances that aren't so great? How are you thankful when it feels like there's just a shadow following you around? I mean, because again, in those moments, you're again making a choice, a conscious choice to think differently about the world. You're going to think differently through a spiritual lens, right? You're going to think put a filter on and say, okay, God, what do I need to see in this? And God, what are you doing in the midst of this? Because it's really hard to see right now.
All right.
And when you see God at work, the result is thankfulness.
Yeah.
You know, as dark as it is,
Yeah.
you see Him. And sometimes that will carry you through those circumstances.
Yeah.
Because again, it's easy to be grateful and thankful for the great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a huge gap between us being thankful for the good stuff and thankful for the stuff that doesn't feel so good sometimes. That's hard.
I had a guy in my church that came to know the Lord, and he couldn't talk plain. And we had the Wednesday night, and prayer requests, and people would give testimonies and stuff. And every week he'd say something, and he'd just embarrass the family because he'd always start out. He'd say, "Bless God, it just getting dooder and dooder and tweeter and tweeter, and I just thank God," and he'd go on. And then he asked us to pray about. He was going to the doctor for some kind of test, and he found out he had sugar diabetes. And the next Wednesday night, there were people thinking, well, he ain't going to have anything to praise God for tonight. And he got up and he said, "Bless God, I knew it was getting tweeter and tweeter and dooder and dooder, but bless God, it done turned to tooger."
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's 1 Thessalonians 5:18, right? Give thanks in all circumstances.
There you go.
Right? It's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I love it. I love it. Well, I mean, but there is something incredibly healthy and almost infectious about living that way.
Yeah, I believe it.
I've determined, or at least in my experience, I've seen people when they make a decision to live with thanks living. Mm-hmm. It really does spread to those that are in your orbit. I know people that just seem to be thankful for so much that when you're not feeling thankful, you almost feel guilty because they're around, right?
Absolutely.
Because you think, man, my life is so much better than theirs in this area. Yet I'm such a heel. I mean, it makes you kind of feel bad about yourself a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I've got one that kind of goes along with you because I know you're a big journaler. Mm-hmm. And I thought of this one by encouraging our listeners to start just a simple journal.
Yeah.
And daily, make a practice of it. Just 3 things that you're thankful for today. Yeah, just something simple like that. Or one person that they need to thank. Or one silver lining that they can see in something difficult that they're going through. Sharing a quick testimony with somebody about something that's going on. I think having that daily journal, I think you got me started doing that.
Well, I am. I'm a big journaler. I think it's just I think it's great to have a written record for yourself. We're not writing novels for generations to come here, but if you have that journal, to me, there's something incredibly invigorating about opening it and seeing that blank page with the idea of what you said. What am I thankful for today? Mm-hmm. And you start writing. And and you get to the end, and so many times I start that and think I'm going to write 3 things, or thank God for 3 people, or
right.
Everything in threes, right? And by the time it's done, you have filled up that page.
Right.
And so what was a blank page before, that symbolic of I have nothing to be thankful for, you have filled that thing up.
Yeah.
And that's just for one day.
One day.
And on those days where it really is tough to feel thankful, to be able to flip that page back and read that page again, it's pretty encouraging.
Yeah.
And pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And so I think that is another great help for thanks living if people would do it.
And I think that helps us too. I mean, I need to be encouraged, don't you?
I do too. I definitely do.
And what better way to be encouraged than by being thankful?
Yeah. It really does. It makes all the difference in the world. And hopefully, you're already doing those things. Maybe we're just preaching to the choir here.
You never know.
At the end of the day, know this, we're thankful for you, and we're so thankful for you that we're going to give you a break by taking a break. But we'll be right back in just a moment. Hey, Chris, I was just doing my laundry, and look what I found.
Oh, my goodness, look at that, the Clash.
The Clash t-shirt.
I love that.
You know what makes it so special?
Why?
Well, because this is the Clash TV show. This is our logo. this came out of my laundry bucket. That means that these t-shirts are available for everybody to buy. And that means that when you need to do some shopping, that special gift, think about it.
Yep.
You've been invited to a wedding.
Right.
You buy a wedding present for the bride and groom.
Wow.
Matching Clash t-shirts.
How awesome
Every
would that
home
be?
needs that. You know, when they have a baby, what do you want to get the baby?
A onesie.
A onesie, a Clash onesie. You can get that as well.
Right.
If you're looking for that extra special gift for a loved one,
Right.
you can go to the Clash store and get a Clash journal. You can get Clash magnets. You can get Clash widgets and gadgets and keychains. All of that is available. All you have to do is visit the Clash store.
We live in a great day, Jeff.
We do. And perhaps the greatest store out there is the Clash store. So follow the QR code at the bottom of the screen. You can go to the Clash store and get stuff of your very own. It'll make us happy. It'll make the show even better. And you can put on your Clash gear while you watch every single episode of the Clash.
Absolutely. Welcome back to the Clash. We're talking about Thanksgiving, but we're calling it Thanks-living, being thankful on a daily basis. And I appreciate so much of the things that you've shared. And I thought about this, Jeff, thankfulness as a relationship builder. That is, when we express gratitude to other people, you think that deepens connections with them?
I think it does.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about any encounter. If you and I start talking, and I start thanking you for what you've done, or for who you are, or how you've blessed me, or I share something that you've said that meant something to me, or something you did that really blessed my life. No matter how you were feeling when that conversation started,
Right.
there's a party that doesn't want that conversation to end.
Right.
But then the humility side says, well, that's enough. You did too much. But we find ourselves in that very sweet spot of being blessed by someone having gratitude. We feel like we don't deserve it. But think about how amazing that is. And what happens is you have a tie to that person. You feel connected to that person in a way that you didn't before.
And we have text today. I send a bunch of texts out.
Yeah.
We have emails. I just want to challenge the audience. You ought to do this week. Just unexpectedly, look through your list and find somebody, send them a text or send them an email, and just tell them how thankful you are for something they've done in your life, or something that they said, it meant a lot to you, or something that they did that you were impressed by. Just send them a note of thanks and watch the ripple effect of that. I guarantee you there'll be one.
Yeah, and you do it, motivated because they just mean something to you. We sometimes we judge, our thankfulness based on how people respond back to us. But at the end of the day, what you just suggested, that's powerful, right? The ripple effect is huge. You're going to make their day. They're going to make other people's day. And you know what? They may never get the opportunity to say thank you for that. But you did it because it was the right thing to do.
Right.
And by doing it, you're honoring God.
Right.
Because again, it's Thanksgiving, right?
Absolutely.
And letting people know that,
Absolutely.
Because it probably is possible. I mean, it's hard to believe, but it's probably possible that you might be thankful to someone for how they blessed your life, and they may not be thankful for you. They might not like you at all, And and at that point, you're killing them with kindness, which probably ought to make you feel okay too, So
There you go. Yeah, I thought of that.
That's fun.
You think we live in there's a lot of people today just feel entitled.
Yeah.
Modern culture kind of I think kind of fosters complaining more than thanks living that we do. And I thought about the story of Jesus and the 10 lepers. Out of 10, how many told him they were thankful?
Well,
just one.
Not half.
Yeah, it just one. Only one.
Yeah.
So if you've got that entitlement mentality, you need to drop that and be the one of the 10 and be thankful.
And I think that's part of where you really have to put your brain in the game too, right? Because we follow a God who is so good to us and He blesses us so much that it's really tempting and easy to take the blessings for granted. And the minute you start taking the blessings for granted, those blessings are no longer enjoyed and they're no longer used like they're supposed to be. Because if God blesses you, he blesses you so you can bless someone else. But if you don't do that, if you're not a good steward, if you will, with the blessings, that blessing can become a curse.
Right.
And all of a sudden that blessing that meant so much, you're hoarding it, and all of a sudden there doesn't seem to be any pop or fire to your spiritual walk. And part of the reason is because you've mismanaged the blessings of God.
Right. Right.
And when you choose to live with thanks, then and only then are you in position to bless others and to enjoy the blessings of God and embrace the promises of God in a way that will give you this thing called abundant life that Jesus said was so important.
Right.
I mean, it comes through thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I had a heart attack back in 2012, and so now I'm on medication for high blood pressure and things like that cause heart attacks. Sure. And I take those medicines. I take them every day. But I got to tell you, Jeff, that one of the greatest medicines for me, one of the greatest medicines is that spirit of thanksgiving and being thankful, because I think it combats anxiety, it combats depression, and it's it's just a great medicine that you don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that thankfulness turns pain into perspective. I think our perspective on everything that we deal with, medications, health, whatever, becomes radically different.
Yeah.
If we can maintain that attitude and find those things to be thankful for in the midst of whatever it is.
Yeah.
Scripture talks about the fact that God takes and works all things together for good. He says that in the book of Romans.
Right.
That too is something we should be thankful for. So even in the junk that's going on, God's got a hand in our lives still.
Yeah.
When bad things happen doesn't mean that God's abandoned us.
No.
So we're never alone. I'll be thankful for that.
Yeah.
But then the fact that he's going to take whatever that junk is, and by his own promise, he's going to do something with that.
We haven't talked in a while. What have you been doing?
Well, I appreciate you asking me, Chris, because, interesting enough, I have a new book coming out. That's right. About the time you're watching this, January. Saving the Magic Kingdom, a brand new Dixon on Disney novel. Coming out, brand new publisher, Magic Press Publishing, over-the-top adventure, happening at Walt Disney World. So yeah, I've been writing a book, and it's coming out, and I'm excited about it. I hope our folks will take a moment and go out to the favorite bookseller or check it out on Amazon.
As a big fan of Dixon, I've read your other novels, and they are super, so don't forget to get this one.
That's right. Now, I'll pay you as soon as we're done with this advertisement. But it's coming out. It's called Saving the Magic Kingdom, an adventure that takes place inside of Walt Disney World, and it comes out in January of this year. Pre-orders happening now. Hi, Jeff Dixon. You might recognize me from The Clash, but that's not what I want to talk to you about. I want to invite you to visit a website. It's touchandchange.net. Touchandchange.net. That is the website for the ministry of the Church at 434, where I am the pastor. Chris Whaley is one of our pastors on staff. And so while you're familiar with us, you may not be familiar with some of the resources that we have to offer that we think will help you in your journey of faith. And you can find all sorts of stuff there with brand new programming that's released every night at 7 o'clock. And you can join us for worship live each and every Sunday morning at 9 or 11:15. Or you can watch streaming reruns of those worship services. And you can go back all the way back to when I had dark hair. And so we would love for you to come and join us and be a part of the journey of faith with us at the Church at 434 at touchandchange.net.
How did you do during COVID with the thankfulness?
I guess I was the anti-COVID guy because because I think in that moment my thankfulness was defiance, meaning I know what we're hearing and I know what I see, but I know who I trust, and He's bigger than this.
Yep.
And so, I mean, that was what pushed me harder to reopen the church as quickly as we did. That's what pushed me harder to not want to wear a mask and not to be afraid to take off that mask.
Yeah.
That's what pushed me to get that first vaccine, because in my mind, and of course, stinking thinking or whatever it was, in my mind, if that's what it took to hug some of our seasoned saints here on a Sunday morning, because it was the only hug they were going to get, I was willing to take that shot, even though I didn't want it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I needed it, but didn't want it. But if that's what it took for them to feel comfortable, I was willing to do that.
Yeah.
And nothing but be my greatness. I mean, I might replay that one differently. But at the end of the day, I really pushed back, and I think my thankfulness came in defiance. I'm going to be thankful no matter what. I'm planting my feet. I'm moving forward.
Well, there were a church load of people at this church that were thankful to you and thankful for your leadership. No, I'm serious, during that time. Because, I mean, you were doing things out of the box. Yeah. Having people come to the parking lot, stay in their cars, and having a worship service in the parking lot.
Sure.
I mean, that's unheard of. Who does that?
That was a tough day, too, because we couldn't keep people in their cars.
You couldn't?
First time they'd seen people in a while. They wanted to get out and talk to everybody. They're going up to looking in the windows and stuff like that. It was a great day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we tried that a couple times. And,
but because of your thankfulness, because of your, just the way God made you, you encouraged a lot of people during that time, and I know they thank you for that. I'm sorry, you go ahead.
No. I am one of those guys where, it sounds dumb, but it's a little thank you test, where, I kind of run things through my processor, where I can say, thank you, Lord, for what I wanted. Thank you, Lord, for what I didn't want but needed, and I wasn't aware of it, but you provided anyway. Always a good thing to be thankful for. Thank you, Lord, for being you, even when I don't understand what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Remembering the constant, just everything through that constant funnel of thanks. Mm-hmm. Because again, there's so much going on around me that I think involves me, but it really doesn't.
Right.
Because God, God is so much bigger than that. He positions us in places where we just we can't see the importance of each moment, even though we think we can. I mean, God's got something happening to all of us if we would learn to stop and look for it. And I think that's one of the things that Thanks Living does. It helps us to actually slow down and see it better. Yeah. And we need to.
Yeah. I get up in the morning, I'm thankful to God for the coffee I'm drinking. Lord, I need coffee in the morning. I don't know about you.
I do too.
I'm thankful for, making it here safely when I drive. I'm thankful for, even the little family quirks that everybody has. And mm-hmm. I don't know if your wife's got them, but mine, she's got her little quirks. But just...
We're going to do a show on that?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to know if that was coming down the pipe or not. I was going to call Verna and tell her, look, I have nothing to do with this show. I just wanted to know I was going to boycott it.
Matter of fact, I'm hoping she's doing a bathroom run.
Right now. I won't write you out. Don't you guys do that either.
Yeah. Okay.
My little quick one, a reminder for our folks that thankfulness is not a feeling, but it can be. In other words, you being thankful really isn't a feeling, it's a choice. But sometimes when you make the choice, the end result is you feel it.
Right.
And that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
And that's all in your control, by the way.
Absolutely.
Your choice.
Absolutely. Well, I've got a challenge for our listeners, Jeff.
Okay.
And that challenge is this. I would like to ask you to commit 30 days of thanks living. Track it, share the progress on social media, and even invite people to join you in that. And I guarantee you, your life will be changed by thanks living. And don't tap out.